Okay, so this video is for anybody that's got the larger Mighty MacKissic brand compost shredder chipper, I believe it's called. If what I just said isn't right, I'll correct it in the title. But basically, it's a 1 3/16 inch shaft. If anybody's working on theirs, this one was a Dodge. The original that it came with was a Dodge taper lock bushing 1610-1 3/16. These are still available. What happened with mine is I just spun it. You have a keyway that goes onto the shaft. That's what I spun, and it also had spun inside of its bore, inside of here. You can see maybe a little ridge there. I don't know if that ridge is supposed to be there, or if that's where it's spun, or if that's the difference between where it's spun and didn't spun. But basically, the way it goes together is like this. No, like this. These two have threads into the chipper disc, and this one is for jacking it back out. So when you're tightening it, you're tightening this, and you're drawing the taper in. And to remove it, you take those out, and you put them in here. And as you're screwing that in, this is somewhat coming out and releases the taper lock. I have put an extra large engine on mine, and that's probably why I broke the keyway and spun it. But anyway, these are still available, brand new. I got a new old stock Dodge, but there's other brands that fit right in there. And I'm just going to replace the chipper blades while I'm in here. Chipper knives, they call them. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Now, I don't have the exact model of my chipper shredder composter, but I did find out that this set fits at 913-0262. Comes with all the new bolts, like it should, or hex screws if you call them that, and both blades. What it doesn't come with is a counter knife. It does come with the gauge to set how far it is from the counter knife, but it does not come with the counter knife. So I'll just take, when I go to put mine back together, I will just reverse them. But here I got two brand new ones, and all the screws and some Loctite, which is apparently drastically important because they give it to you for free, and they wouldn't have given it to you in the package unless you really needed it, because these shipping, if these were to come loose, you could have a real issue. So let me just set this parts out of the way now, get this up on something metal, and then I can heat those up. Whenever you're heating up Loctite, the blue usually comes off, but the red, you really want some heat to start breaking the bond of that old Loctite. So let's go with that route. Okay, the first thing I want to start to do is just get some of the sap and whatever garbage is down in those holes. Start by getting those out. Some of it will burn out, but let's just get it out of there, and then we don't have to smell it. And full disclosure, these ones aren't too bad, but because I have it apart for another repair, the centerpiece, I'm replacing them while I have it in my hands here. Now, what you really want to do is get a brand new, you can see this one is well used, get a brand new one, brand new hex key of a quality type. And the best bet is to hammer it down in there, and you'll have the best chance of getting a good grip on that thing without stripping it out. And I'm going to heat it up. That's the key, because if it does have the red Loctite on there, it's not going to want to come out without heat. So we'll definitely put heat to it. So I'm going to start with just this one happens to be MAP gas, but you could use propane, MAP. Oxyacetylene might be a little much for such a small diameter fastener, but it'll get the job done very quickly. And there's different theories on, do you only heat the metal on the outside, do you only heat the screw, do you only heat whatever, do you quench it, do you, I don't know. I'm going to just try it hot. Let's see what happens. It doesn't like that, so we'll go way hotter on the metal. And that's thick steel, so it's going to take a while to try to heat where the threads are below. There's no real reason to heat the actual cutting head. Cast iron takes a lot of heat, and it absorbs a lot of heat. So I'll just let that sit there for a few minutes, and let's see what happens. Other ideas would be an impact socket of the hex variety would probably help get a quick snap and get it out of there. But let's see what we can do by hand here. Bring you back when I get that heated up good. Well, somehow I just missed that shot, but anyway, got the first one started, as you can see. Just heated it for a minute and a half or so, and then hammered that down as far as I could, and then hammered on it to give it a little bit of impact, and I just stopped when it went about 3/4 of the way out. And let's see if I can get the next one going. I'm just going to heat it up again for a minute and a half, whatever. Now it's probably got some heat going in the plate there. I'm just going to keep. I think the heat is really the key, especially if it has Loctite, and especially if it's been in there a while. Okay, second one. Been heating it for a while. Let's see if we can get this one to crack loose. I'll show you the procedure that worked for me. Get full engagement. Get it all the way in there. Now, yeah, snap loose. This one's coming much easier than the first one. Right there, it's really starting to stop, so I'll leave it till it cools, and we'll go for the next one. Alright, last one on this side. Let's see what kind of luck I'm having on mine. Hopefully you'll have just as good a luck on yours. I'm going to give it some pressure here. It's getting a little hot to touch on my thumb there. There it goes. Got you out of frame there. And again, it's getting tight there. I'm just going to let it cool, and I think we'll have a much easier time. And now the blade, you can see, is loose. I'm just going to repeat these steps. No sense in me showing you the same thing on both blades, but hopefully you'll have as good a luck on yours. I'll take the other 3 off and we'll get back to it. Okay, back out here with the chipper disc. As you can see, I got all the bolts out. Most of them came out easy, except 1.5 of them did come out the hard way, which is not, I didn't break them, but I mutilated the heads on them and had to go with extra heat and vice grips and every other trick known to mankind. So I'm ready to prep it for the new discs, and what I'm going to do to prep it is, I can see this is pulled up a little bit here, the threads. I'm going to retap them, and then I'm going to sand that smooth, so I'm sure I don't have any metal that got pulled up with those old screws as I was taking them out. Need a nice flat surface for those to sit against. These particular ones have a welded bar backing them, which is a great idea. So I'm just going to run a tap through these. I'm going to try it just on a power drill. I don't think it'll have to take a lot off, and if that doesn't work, I'll try the tap handle. Probably a more appropriate tool would be a thread chasing tap, but I didn't know how bad it was, and I wanted to make sure I can take off enough metal. There's regular taps, and then there's thread chasing ones for just more of cleaning and just reforming them a little bit. I wasn't sure how bad the bad ones were, so I just went with the regular tap. And as you can see, almost no resistance at all. But now I'm going to get a close-up just so you can see how that bolt had kind of pulled up some metal with it. And if you don't get that thing sitting dead flat, you'll be making a mistake. I got you zoomed in there on what is the middle hole on the left side of the one where I was showing. And as you can see, that metal has come up out of that thread and kind of curled over a little bit right there. It's prouder than, it's taller than the flat. So I'm just going to take that down to flat again. Okay, we're down to flat, or better. And I'm just going to give it a wire brush, get all that last bit of loose materials, whatever there might be. think we're ready for some new blades. Okay, for the reinstallation, I'm going to use what it came with, which is Loctite 243 thread locker. That's if you buy the original kit. I'm going to use an impact driver and brand new impact rated hex bits. Last thing I want to do is slip or make it egg shaped for removal later on. And here's something new to me. This is a medium strength thread locker. I only knew of blue being the weaker and red being the stronger, but this is blue, if you can see in there. So that's interesting. I know the red takes heat to take it off. I put heat to get the blue off. I'm going to put a little on here, and then if I have enough I'll go back and put more, but my guess is they gave me very little in here. Bring you back when I got all that done. Okay, got the thread locker put on all the bolts. They actually had a decent amount there on there. Wasn't sure if I was going to get enough out of that little tube, but it did. Get them all started, get them all lined up in their little pockets, and then I'll give them the beans. Those ain't going anywhere. Alright, so this chipper disc is ready to bolt back on. I got my new blades. I have a new taper lock bushing for the middle, new flywheel, new key for the inside of the bushing, and it's ready to be put back on. I hereby declare this chipper disc Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching.